I'm not here tonight as an expert to tell you everything you need to be doing as a parent. And many of the mistakes that you've made, I've made too. And I'm not here to stand here and tell you that I've done a perfect job of parenting. In fact, most of these imperfections are my imperfections. So if you're here tonight and you've lived in a normal family, or you're here tonight and you're a single parent, or you're here tonight and you're a blended family, I want you to know that I'm not an expert, but I sure do. From my heart, I identify with you. And I want to say to you that in the midst of our imperfections, God still has a purpose. It's pretty interesting when we look at our imperfections, we think about those. As a result of our imperfections, it's pretty easy for us as parents to fall into some black holes. Whether we're a normal family, a single family, or a blended family, it's easy for us to fall into some black holes. Let me identify 4 of those for you. Here's the first one. It's what I would call the done-its. Done-its. Some parents feel like they have done everything that they possibly could, and their kids, it's still not working out for them. Some people are the have-not done-its. These are the people that, the parents who feel like they have invested significantly in their children, but at the same time they look back and they say, you know, there was so much more I could have done if I just done this, if I just had not made this mistake, if I had only not done this. And they look at themselves and they say, I wonder if it's too late. I sure hope it's not too late. The have not done it. There's a third black hole that we tend to fall into as imperfect parents, and that is the undone-its. The undone-its are those people who compare themselves to others. And as parents, we look at somebody else and we look at the way they're parenting, and we look at this family and we look at how their children are doing. We look at this couple and we see how they're doing, and then we compare ourselves to those people, and we feel like we're inadequate, we're not measuring up, things are just not the way they ought to be for us because things are not perfect. And then there's the fourth black hole that we fall into, and that's the have-done-its. That takes us back to our single parents. And for some of us, even in this room, who have spouses who are not going the same direction we're going. And so as a result of 2 polar opposite directions in life, purposes in life, we feel like that we're sort of half a family trying to make this thing work, and it's not really working out that well, and we feel pretty imperfect about it. So when we've got these 4 black holes that we can fall into as parents, and all of us tend to fall into these, either one or the other, many times over the course of our parenting lifetime, we pretty much live with lots of imperfection, don't we? And then what happens is the result of our imperfection is that we start feeling really guilty about it. And then either we try harder by going in the wrong direction, or we give up, or we just kind of abdicate the throne to mom or somebody else and let the kids kind of run on their own. We feel guilty about what we have done, what we haven't done, what was undone, what's half done. And somehow all that just takes the joy, just sucks the joy right out of being a parent. You ever notice that? So here's what I'd like to do with this first session. I'd like for us to simply say, parents aren't perfect, never have been, never will be. Say that with me. Parents aren't perfect, never have been, never will be. We can agree with that. Let's lay that aside and say, you know, it's time to move beyond our guilt and lay the guilt that comes from the mistakes that we've made and the imperfections that we have, to lay that aside and begin to move forward and beyond that, to begin to pursue God's purpose for our kids in spite of our imperfections.